Welcome to the deep dive. You're looking for, well, the smartest ways to burn fat, right? Efficient, effective. And you want that info fast. We always hear that old line, cardio for fat loss, weights for muscle, simple.
Yeah, almost too simple, maybe.
Exactly. So today, we're going to crack that open a bit, see what's really under the hood.
Definitely. We've been digging into this really interesting YouTube transcript.
Yeah.
It's from Gravity Transformation. They're, fat loss experts.
Okay.
And they have some surprising takes on cardio versus weights specifically for shedding fat.
Surprising. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so our mission here, this deep dive, is to pull out those key insights, those strategies that might actually help you get faster results, maybe with less grinding effort.
Love the sound of that. So the source is a transcript from these YouTube experts.
Got it.
Okay, let's start basic. When we say cardio and weight training, what are we actually talking about here, according to them?
Right. So traditional cardio in this context is that steady state stuff, jogging, biking, swimming.
The elliptical for an hour?
Exactly. That kind of thing. You maintain a pace.
Yeah.
It's mostly aerobic, uses oxygen, burns fat for fuel generally.
Okay. Sustained effort and traditional weight training.
That's lifting heavy things, basically. Reps, sets, rest periods in between. It's much more anaerobic, meaning when it gets intense, your body can't get enough oxygen fast enough, so it burns the sugar stored in your muscles, the glycogen. Quick bursts of energy.
Got it. Okay, so that feeling when you hop on a treadmill, you feel like you're burning calories immediately. That initial burn cardio wins there, right? The transcript confirms that.
It does, yeah. Session for session, same effort. Cardio typically burns more calories right then. But this is where that whole fat burning zone thing comes up.
Ah, yes, the magic zone. Stay at 70% max heart rate to burn more fat.
Exactly that myth. And it is kind of a myth, or at least misleading. The transcript points out, yes, at lower intensity, a higher percentage of calories burned might be from fat. But if you work out harder, say above that 70%, you burn way more total calories overall.
Right.
And a smaller percentage of a much bigger number can still be more fat burned than a larger percentage of a smaller number. Makes sense.
Totally. 30% of the 1,000 calories is way more than 50% of 500 calories.
Precisely. So focusing only on the percentage can lead you down the wrong path. It's the total calorie deficit that drives fat loss.
Okay, so don't get hung up on the zone. But this is where it gets interesting, right? That immediate calorie burn isn't the full picture. What about after the workout?
Exactly. This is where weight training really starts to shine, according to the research they cite.
The afterburn.
Yeah, the afterburn effect, or EPIC. Yeah. Your metabolism stays elevated for longer after weight training compared to steady-state cardio, sometimes for hours, even a day or two.
Because your body's repairing muscle.
That's a big part of it, yeah. Repairing and rebuilding those muscle fibers takes energy, but even more crucial, long-term.
Muscle itself.
Yes. Weight training builds muscle. Cardio, not so much. And muscle tissue burns more calories at rest than fat tissue does.
So more muscle means a higher resting metabolism. You burn more calories just existing.
Exactly. So it's cardio gives you that immediate payout, but weights invest in your long-term metabolic bank account. That's a key takeaway.
Okay, that makes sense. So both have their place. But what about actual fat loss results? Did they mention specific studies? You mentioned Duke University?
Yes, they did. A pretty significant one from Duke. It was an 8-month study, 119 overweight inactive adults. They split them up. Cardio-only group, weight training-only group, and a group that did both.
Okay, the classic comparison. What happened?
All right, so the cardio group lost about 4 pounds overall. The weight training group actually gained about 2 pounds.
Gained weight. But they were trying to lose fat.
Right, but the researchers figured that gain was lean body mass.
Yeah.
Muscle. Which isn't a bad thing.
Okay, fair. What about fat loss specifically?
This is where it gets really interesting. The cardio group lost over 3.5 pounds of fat. The weight training group.
Yeah.
They didn't really lose any significant fat.
Wow. Really? Just lifting weights didn't cut the fat in that study?
Not on its own, according to those results. It kind of suggests that maybe the calorie burn during the weight sessions wasn't enough by itself to create that deficit needed for fat loss, at least not without diet changes.
Okay, so what about the combo group, the ones doing both?
They had the best results for body composition, the biggest improvement in the ratio of fat to muscle.
Okay.
And they also had the biggest drop in waist size.
So combining them seems like the winner for changing your body shape, not just the number on the scale.
That's the big takeaway from Duke, yeah. Cardio helps burn the fat during, weights build the metabolic engine and muscle together. It's synergistic. More than just adding the two parts.
Synergistic. I like that. Okay, so if combining is best, does the order matter? Like weights then cardio or cardio then weights?
Good question. The transcript brings up another study, this one from the American Council on Exercise, ACE.
Yeah.
They found that your heart rate tends to be higher, about 12 beats per minute higher during cardio if you do it after lifting weights.
12 beats. Is that significant? Does it really move the needle on fat loss?
Well, a higher heart rate generally means more calories burned during that cardio session. It might not be a huge difference, but it's potentially something.
Okay, why would that happen? Why is heart rate higher after weights?
The theory they mention is glycogen depletion. You use up a lot of that stored muscle sugar during weightlifting.
Right.
So when you then switch to cardio, your body might have to rely more heavily on fat for fuel because the easy sugar isn't as available.
Ah, interesting. So you're kind of priming your body to burn fat by lifting first?
Potentially, yeah. But there's a practical downside.
Time.
Doing a full weights session than a full cardio session. That's a longer time commitment at the gym.
Yeah, definitely. Not everyone has 90 minutes or whatever.
Which leads nicely into the next idea they talk about. Training smarter, not harder, finding more efficient ways.
Okay, now you're talking. Smarter, not harder. What did they suggest? They mentioned PHA, peripheral heart action.
Yes, PHA training. It's basically a way to get some cardio effect while you're lifting weights, making it more efficient.
How does that work?
You alternate exercises for different parts of the body, like upper body then lower body, or front then back, with very minimal rest in between.
So keep moving, basically.
Pretty much. The transcript gives examples like doing a set of barbell front squats, then immediately going into standing military presses.
Okay, legs, then shoulders.
Or maybe a chest press followed right away by a row.
Yeah.
Or even a front squat, then a deadlift. The key is very short rest.
I can see how that would keep your heart rate jacked up. Your heart's pumping blood all over the place quickly.
Exactly. So you get the strength stimulus, but also a cardiovascular challenge and higher calorie burn during the workout itself.
Makes sense. Efficient.
They also mentioned a variation, like pairing a weight exercise with a cardio move for the same muscles, like squats then immediately into high knees.
Ooh, that sounds intense. Okay, so that's PHA. What about HIRT, high-intensity resistance training?
Right. HIT, similar goal. Efficiency, fat loss. It also uses challenging weights, but it's structured around work-to-rest intervals.
Like HIIT, but with weights.
Kinda, yeah. You go hard with a resistance exercise for a set time, then take a short, specific rest and repeat.
Like circuits or Tabata style, but lifting.
Exactly. They give examples like maybe 20 seconds of intense work, 10 seconds rest, or it could be longer, like 60 seconds on, 30 off, even 4 minutes on, 1 minute off.
Okay, so you're still lifting heavy enough to build muscle.
Yep, getting those strength and metabolism benefits.
But the high intensity and short rest gives you the cardio conditioning too.
That's the idea. The transcript suggests even a short, like 15-minute HRR session can give you benefits usually associated with both types of training. Better heart-lung function, endurance, energy, plus the muscle gain, higher metabolism, and strength from the weights.
Wow, okay. 15 minutes packing that kind of punch is pretty appealing.
It's definitely about maximizing your time and effort.
All right, this has been a lot of great info. Let's boil it down. For someone listening right now wanting to lose fat effectively, what are the absolute key takeaways from this deep dive?
Okay, first big one. Both cardio and weights help burn fat. Don't think it's just one or the other, but they work differently.
Cardio for the during workout burn, weights for the long-term metabolic boost via muscle?
Exactly. Second, combining them seems to be the gold standard for the best results in body composition, changing how you look and feel, not just the scale number. That Duke study really highlighted that.
Right, the synergy effect. And third,
the order might matter if you have the time. Doing weights before cardio could potentially squeeze out a little extra fat burning during that cardio part.
potentially. But maybe not the biggest factor for everyone.
Probably not the biggest, no. Which leads to the fourth point. If you're short on time, these smarter methods like PHA and HIIRT look really promising.
Yeah, getting cardio and strength benefits together efficiently.
They pack a lot into a shorter workout. It's about intensity and smart programming.
And we absolutely cannot forget the elephant in the room, or maybe the salad on the plate, diet.
Oh, absolutely crucial. The transcript makes it clear, and the experts behind it emphasize this. Exercise is vital, but you won't see significant fat loss without sorting out your nutrition.
They mentioned their challenge program, right? Integrating diet, workouts, coaching.
Yeah, and they mentioned seeing results like, on average, 20 pounds or 5% body fat loss in 6 weeks in that structured program, which just underscores you need the whole package.
Exercise, food, and maybe that accountability piece too, keeping you on track.
That psychological side, the motivation, sticking with it, it's huge. It's not just physiology.
Definitely. So it's about a holistic strategy, not just picking the right workout.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, this has been super insightful. We've definitely gone beyond just cardio versus weights and looked at how they interact, how to sequence them, how to combine them efficiently. Really useful stuff.
Yeah, it's about understanding how these things work.
Yeah.
That understanding helps you make smarter choices for your specific goals and your schedule.
Absolutely. So, final thought for everyone listening. We've heard the evidence for combining cardio and weights, the potential boost from sequencing, and these efficient methods like HIR and PHA. How does knowing all this maybe shift your idea of the perfect fat loss workout? What small experiment, what little tweak could you maybe try in your own routine now, moving towards training a bit smarter?